So, just started playing Counter-Strike Nexon, and are you guys wondering, is there any F2P Friendly game mode for beginner? Zombie Run Z blew up my brain thanks to those paid weapons, especially epic users. Dude, I already made a video which you can check it out through here. But our main focus here is to give you tips of an F2P Friendly game mode called Zombie Scenario. What is Zombie Scenario? So it's basically a PvE game mode where you have to team up with up to 10 players at the same room to fight the zombies that were controlled by AI. The goal here is pretty simple, as you had either to survive, escorting an ally, doing some puzzles, and obviously fighting against the bosses. There are numerous difficulties that you can choose based on your experience, but actually I didn't really enjoy this game mode because all I got was just a room filled with threat refill. Even I got the medal by playing on the map for 200 times. Best thing about Zombie Scenario is it's also served as a story mode for Counter-Strike Nexon with its complicated zombie lore, and I will risk myself to make a video about it. So here are some tips that you need to do when playing Zombie Scenario as a beginner. First thing that you need to do to play Zombie Scenario is to learn the map. There are numerous maps that you can try between Zombie Scenario Season 1 till Season 9, but you can also stack it up to 5 maps, making a Zombie Scenario map playlist. For starters, I highly suggest you to try either Lost City, Trap, Last Clue, and Dead End on normal difficulty. I do recommend you to play Double Game and Chaos because this map requires strategy and it contains RNG, especially if you're playing alone. You also have to avoid easy difficulty because people mostly came into the room just for events, as they are mostly counted on normal or hard events of the event itself. For the other maps like Annihilation, you really need the key in order to play on that map by getting a drop when clearing the other Zombie Scenario map. If you want to learn some other maps that I didn't mention, you can just find it by yourself on YouTube by typing map name and then it will show up in the search bar. For the recent maps around Season 8 and Season 9, you can check out my playlist here as I'm at a playthrough of the Zombie Scenario maps. After you learn the map, the next thing you need to do is to use the best weapon setup for this game mode. Unlike Zombie Hero or Zombie Z, where you guys mostly rely on Transcendence and epic weapon that cost lots of money, most of Zombie Scenario weapons were completely F2P friendly, as you can easily get them from Mission Chain, free decoders, family storage if you join a clan, and obviously Mirage auction. Meanwhile, most of Season Pass weapons had a better performance for Zombie Scenario, but if you think it's a pay-to-win weapon, it's partially true, because there is some other way to use those weapons without having to buy the past season along with its level, especially if you're F2P. The only thing you need to do is just to finish the current Season Pass, which grant you an access to Black Market, where you can buy those weapons with each price costs 30 badge and it only lasted for 2 days. For Zombie Scenario, I highly suggest you to choose Grand Bird Cannon, PR Chameleon Gun, PR Blessing Sword, Laser Storm, and Thunderbolt Anubis, and this is how it looks like in Zombie Scenario. Looks interesting, right? Well, if only you solve them without having to finish the Season Pass just to access the Black Market, you really need to find a good family where they actually provide you these weapons on their family storage. Oh, by the way, I almost forgot to show you some best weapon for Zombie Scenario. But first, you gotta put some weapon parts on your Deagle, Skull 9, and Ignite 10 to increase the damage of your primary weapon, as Power Up and Critical can be stacked, which you could get it by either buying it on the auction or just simply craft it. Using grade 5 is already enough, but if you're lucky, you can go for grade 6 to increase the damage a little bit further. So first, we have a Patrol Boomer, an advanced equipment where we will shoot a moldy for 7 seconds. It can be used on bosses too, and it will improve your damage and survivability if you build Gun Boost and Vampiric. Next, we have Thanatos 9, a melee weapon that already exists since the golden age of this game. By putting Knife Reach and Vampiric, it will be useful on ground bosses if you're trying to hit their back with its special attack. Then we have Hunter Killer X90, the unique SMG for survivability. Also, it looks like a low-budget version of Laser Storm. But if you want to survive with melee weapon, you can also use the Prism Sword, with just holding your left mouse button while you put Vampiric and speed up. Next, we have the Shining Herb Rod, a unique machine gun, where at first you might think it's a goofy weapon, but in reality, it's a lifesaver if you're using element vampire, or if you didn't even have it, Broad Define will be the best option for this weapon. Oh yeah, we almost forgot to mention some transcendence weapon that also pretty useful in this game mode. But the problem is, this weapon lacks of weapon parts, so you need to be careful to use these weapons, such as Magnum Launcher, where you need to rely on the special attack. And then Dual Barrel Gunslinger, where you just simply hold your right mouse button to shove away some zombie, and even it has an infinity ammo. For Dual Assault Panther player, you just need to learn the combo itself that is shown here. For the boss part, you gotta need to use a Trinity Grenade. This grenade looks similar to a virus that became a global pandemic back in 2020, and you can throw it up to 3 times. For the Prime itself, you can use the M95 White Tiger as it has a high damage, but only if you're fighting against a boss that took place in a large map, or Infinity Laserface, where you can just rely on the blaster, but also want to give you the fact that this weapon can be also used for the obstacle, thanks to its high rate of fire. Lastly, we have Devastator, machine gun that can be obtained from the Counter-Exchange shop where it can be spammed against bosses if you buy lots of them, as the missile charge bar can refill by itself even if you drop it to the ground. If you think these weapons were not good enough, you just need to be lucky enough to meet some pay-to-win players or Waller, as they might drive you something good like epic weapon that were completely flexible in zombie scenario. Moving on to the third step, Addons. If you think that using a best weapon is enough for you, it's absolutely wrong because you gotta need addons, especially on higher difficulty. Addons were mostly used for buff, support, and survivability, and to get add-on it's really simple. You can just clear some scenario maps, doing some events, or you can buy it through the mileage shop for 500 mileage and each box contains 10 add-ons, but in total you can buy it up to 5 times, which grant you 50 add-ons per day. I'm actually rarely use add-on because I mostly play on hard difficulty, but if you're trying to play without wasting lots of times or trying to play on higher difficulty, then you're gonna need to use add-ons. I mostly use these add-ons whenever I play on very hard or Inferno, which consists of reinforced attack, survival instinct, explosive ammo, and weakness analysis, and here is the differences between raw weapon along with add-on support. What do you think? It's much better to use an add-on, right? Add-on can be also used for lifesavers such as Capital, where it starts with a maximum amount of money, allowing you to buy your strongest weapon in the buy menu, or Titan Wheel, which grants you extra life if you run out of HP or veteran health, which can be only used in very hard or higher difficulty where you can drop your weapon for your teammate, as this difficulty will always make your weapon disappear whenever you try to drop it, no matter how much weapon that you buy. For the rest of the add-on, you can try it by yourself as every add-on has its own description. For the last tips, you gotta need to use a better class. Most of you guys might think that classes are only meant for Gunner and Sims, right? No, it's not. Whenever you play a zombie scenario, you might see some people use transcendent classes because most of these classes give you buff. Even your teammate also got their buff too. Sadly, most of these classes were actually limited as you need to spend your money to get them. Or you can also stack your class decor up to 150 before you try to get them. Also, don't forget that you need to check out the stats of every character as these stats were only useful on zombie scenario. Well, I'm actually don't really use tons of classes since I'm mostly relying on my lovely agent Ritsuka. Even though I'll save her, she is considered one of the best classes despite having low HP. She has a skill where you could instantly kill an elite zombies in just one shot if you get closer to them. For the F2P classes, you can go for Rami, which grants you invisibility for a short time while dealing some damage, Dragonite Calyrex for attack buff against bosses, or Pinghart Shiho for triple ammo. For the other classes that I could mention, you can check it out on Wiki to see the skill info. Using a transcendent classes has a higher level cap as 111 was the maximum level unlike regular class, where it only capped at 101. For cheaper class like Unique or Rare, I would recommend you to use Inkling for HP or Mila for speed and attack. Always avoid default classes as their stats, despite being equal, is not effective for zombie scenario. So what do you guys think about my guide? Do you guys enjoy zombie scenario? Let me know your experience in the comment down below. If you think this guide was really helpful, leave a thumbs up on this video. Oh, by the way, if you want to check out the zombie mods guide, check out this video. Thank you for watching this video and see you in the next video. Bye bye.